What did you think about that, like, shockingly violent shot of him falling and hitting the furniture? Did that stick out to you as, like, kind of weird?
I remember watching it going, that impaled his head.
Yeah.
And then, because that's the sound effect they put in there.
Yes.
And then he rolls off, and then he starts talking. He's got more to say. And I'm like, bullshit. Like, if that dude said anything, because he'd have brain damage, he'd be like, a duh, scrambled egg, blah.
Yeah, and like,
Yeah.
you know, his eyes are open. You know, I was just like, whoa, that just took me by surprise. Again, I guess that's why it was rated PG-13 for some violence.
I want to talk about Grandma, because, you know, the acting is kind of like whatever. Like, you don't like talk about it so much. I want to talk about the storyline as well as we can.
Yeah.
So Grandma is the bad guy in the end.
Right.
And she's done this because she wants to make sure that the vote doesn't happen and there's no reform and we're stuck in the old ways forever, because that helps her, because she's, I guess, like a 1%er, whatever.
Yeah.
And my question is this, though.
Yeah.
Had she have just obtained him and tied him up until after the vote and then let him go, wouldn't that have worked too?
It was like surprisingly dark. You know, I'm just going to take a shotgun out and blow my grandson away. Like,
obviously.
Yeah, maybe a little unrealistic, you think?
I think so. Like, a little unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what were his fucking credentials? Was he like a gardener? Like, he ain't no assassin, I'll tell you that much.
He's not an assassin, that's for sure.
But yeah, that kind of bugged me. I was like, you could have just, like, I know they said they tried to send him to, like, boarding school.
Yeah.
And I guess he ran away on the train, and then they're like, well, what do we do now? Kill him, obviously.
Yeah.
Seems like the reasonable. I know he's like the last living member of, like, the family bloodline, and they're very proud of their family name. So, like, let's kill that. Let's kill the bottom.
Right.
Well, I guess they killed the father too, maybe, right? They don't really say.
And then
it's
there was
implied. It's implied.
But I guess the uncle was away at war. Is that what they said?
Well, they did this thing where there was, all I remember is that they did this, they mentioned who's to gain, because they asked him, like, well, who would you vote for? And he's like, oh, like my father, I would have voted for it. Okay, so, like,
and
who stands the most to gain by? They named the uncle, and then we find out it's really like the grandmother and whatnot. And,
okay, he was away at war, so he, like, had her, like, they plotted, I guess, and then she hired the weird looking guy to go after him.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean,
what doesn't work for me is the very, very end when she finds her in the apartment, and now I find myself going, where were you? Why did Sherlock never find you?
Yeah.
Why didn't you come forward sooner?
Yeah.
How were you tied to the vote? Because were you gonna vote? And then I'm like, well, she had the dynamite, so I'm like, was she gonna blow up Parliament if it didn't go her way? Like, I have a lot of questions that just never get answered. And when she showed up, I was like, great, payoff. Because we take a hard left to go follow the boy.
Yeah.
And that whole thing.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that next. But like, when we circle back, I'm lost. I'm still lost.
I mean, again, they had a good mission, it seemed like, but it almost was like a terrorist organization. I mean, they were going to bomb the place, and that's kind of what they imply, but then they never go back to it.
Because I guess like, she was probably pro-reform, and I guess if they didn't get the vote passed, they were going to blow it up.
That's what the sense I got.
I guess
in the comments if like we're way off, but then she doesn't she just say, I left because you were in danger. This was to protect you. It's like, why? Because you were going to blow something up and like they were going to come for our family.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they have that scene where Enola walks in on her and like 5 other people, and they got like maps and plans.
Yeah.
You didn't need her to actually be there. You could have had somebody else do it. Maybe somebody who didn't have a kid.
Sure.
Or 3 kids.
Sure.
Oh, I want to bring that up too. I don't know if I buy that Helena Boheman Carter is the mother of Henry Cavill.
Are you trying to say her name that way?
I don't know how to say it.
Helena Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian.
Okay.
Is it Helen or is it Helena?
Helena Bonham.
Bonham.
Bonham Carter.
Okay. Bonham. Stupid name. Anyway.
Were you going to say she didn't think she was old enough to have all 3 kids?
I think Henry Cavill and her are too close in age for it to be mother and son.
Sure, sure.
Like, I don't know exactly how old she is. I know she got like her big start in like Fight Club, and then she, like you said, all those Tim Burton movies,
Which,
and those were like in the 2000s. And I could buy Millie Bobby Brown because she's like, what is she, 15?
right. Yeah,
But
something like that.
but Henry Cavill's got to be what, like 32, 34?
Yeah, but I think Helena Bonham Carter is in her 50s now. So I think it could work, especially if they're getting married at like 16 and 17. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
so that is something to consider.
And they're probably like, hey, we're lucky we got big names for this movie. We're not gonna mess with it too much. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't know.
So as a mother to Enola, now I'm going to start saying her name wrong, to Enola, I thought she was great, really sweet, but overall as a character, again, when it comes to the plot, when it comes to the plan, and then the ending, I was just kind of like, wait, what? I was confused. And then, I mean, at the very least, they could have had like a dance number at the very end. You know, give me some payoff or something. Like,
This
come on,
isn't
like
Slumdog Millionaire, where we're like the ending of Grease.
Well, I mean, that would have been better than her just like talking to her mom in a bedroom and her mom saying, "Well, you know, now you have to be alone, Enola." You know, it's like, okay, I don't like typically like dance
I put
numbers.
it in your fucking name.
I don't typically like dance numbers in movies, but I think that would have been an improvement on what we got. So you mentioned the useless boy. What'd you think about him?
What was his name?
He's a mini lord. We can call him that. No, we can call him little One Direction.
Little. Come on now. Tewksbury.
Viscount Tewksbury.
Tewksbury.
Viscount.
So Tewksbury, he's on the train. She's trying to find the mom.
Mhm.
He's trying to escape murder.
Yeah.
From a generic assassin who I've seen this actor in other stuff. I can't place him.
Well, he was in The Dark Knight Rises at least. I remember.
That's right. He's like the assistant to the other guy in The Dark Knight Rises, right? He's like the
Yeah. Isn't he made to walk out? I think he's made to walk out on the ice and then he falls through. I think he was that guy.
Okay. Yeah. He's one of those like rich suit dudes that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I liked Enola Holmes, man.
I did too. I really did.
She's got spunk. She's got
some
grit.
Yes. Like there were some, like I said, there were definitely some nitpicks that were like fun to point out, but no, I'm glad I watched it. I'm more impressed with Millie Bobby Brown now. I want to see her in something else. I saw several comments on the trailer for the movie on YouTube when it came out. People were saying, well, in this 2-minute trailer, she already said more than all the 4 seasons of Stranger Things.
Friends don't lie. Sherlock. I don't think it's one of those kids movies that like when the parents are sitting there watching it with them going, oh, Jesus Christ. Like right. I think everybody can enjoy it on a certain level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's digestible. It's not, and it's actually kind of good.
How many corkscrews out of 10 would you give them?
3 out of 5 corkscrews. I thought it was a good movie. I would recommend it.
I'm gonna drop a bomb on you. I'm gonna go 3.5 corkscrews out of 5.
Oh, yeah, waka.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Burns, John Burns. Definitely go check out Burns Reviews. I'm gonna have the link down in the description. Does ending explained videos, Blu-ray trips. He goes and picks up the newest steel books that are out, like Mad Max Fury Road. Side-by-side videos,
some Batman
movie reviews,
7, some Dune.
Yes, movie reviews.
Giving away that Rick and Morty season 4 digital copy behind me. You can get that on tomorrow. All you gotta do is subscribe, like, comment.
There you go.
On J Mark and mine.
There you go.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. We're here. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll talk to you later.